Hello and welcome back to World 360. Today, we discuss the curious case of Serbia, an EU candidate, which has just agreed to a new 3-year gas supply deal with Russia. Ironically, this was announced after EU leaders in a meeting agreed to ban Russian oil from the bloc's market by the end of 2022. Therefore, it's not entirely clear how Serbia would receive Russian gas under this deal if the EU decides to shut off the Russian supply that travels over its member countries. But before we get into this, let's understand where Serbia lies in the larger frame of geopolitics. For starters, Serbia is a Balkan state located in southeastern Europe. It used to be part of former Yugoslavia, just like its neighbors Croatia, Montenegro, and many others. But today, Serbia enjoys relations with both Russia and the EU. It relies on Russia for oil and military hardware. As far as oil goes, Russian-owned Gazprom holds majority stakes in Serbia's only oil company and its sole gas storage facility. On the military side, a recent report in the European Council of Foreign Relations points out that current Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić has increased Serbian dependence on Russia for military equipment since he came into power in 2017. In October 2017, his government bought 6 MiG-29 jets from Russia, and between 2018 and 2022 purchased Russian tanks, armored vehicles, and anti-tank Kornet-guided missiles, among others. With regards to the EU, the bloc is a major investor and trade partner for Serbia. In a meeting with Charles Michel, President of the European Council on 19th May, the Serbian president said, "We have the biggest exports and imports from the EU. The EU is by far the largest investor in our country with a 67% stake." It was also during this meeting that Vučić said Serbia is fully committed to being on the European path and that the goal is full EU membership. So you can see why it's confusing that a country keen on EU membership also appears to be cozy with Russia. The Serbian president, in fact, recently admitted to feeling caught between Russia and the West. He said in a televised address in March, "Serbia is in an exceptionally difficult situation. There is less understanding than ever for the position of our nation. We are facing huge pressure." We see this balancing act also in the way Serbia has gone about commenting on the Ukraine war. While the country has not directly condemned Russian invasion into Ukraine and not joined Western sanctions against Moscow, it did vote in favor of a UN resolution condemning Russia's war on Ukraine. What's even more interesting is that Serbia is a member of the EU's Energy Community, a group established between the EU, some Balkan countries like Albania and Serbia, and a few others. The body is seen as one of the EU's attempts to expand further east into Europe. Now, at the same time, Serbian President Vučić enjoys ties with Hungarian PM Viktor Orbán, who we know is a Putin ally and is subjected to EU sanctions on Russian oil. Serbia also appears to be looking towards Hungary amid its energy crisis. A week ago, President Vučić told reporters that he asked Orbán if Serbia could store some energy in Hungary as it lacks storage facilities within its own borders, and that Orbán was open to the idea. Before we conclude, we have to talk about Kosovo to understand Russia-Serbia ties. In 2008, Kosovo declared independence from Serbia, a move which Serbia rejected. Kosovo is a sensitive region. As you may remember, NATO carried out an aerial bombing campaign against the then Yugoslavia during the Kosovo War in 1999. Now, Serbia does not recognize Kosovo as an independent state, and in solidarity, neither has Russia. On the other hand, the US and other G20 members like Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and many others have recognized Kosovo as a sovereign state. So it may be difficult for Serbia to cross Moscow knowing it has supported it on a significant territorial issue. You may have also noticed that since the Ukraine war began, there have been repeated mentions of Kosovo. It's clear that NATO's bombardment of Serbia in 1999 and the West's acceptance of Kosovo's declaration of independence in 2008 has irked Putin, and he has, in a way, used it as a justification to invade Ukraine. Jade McGlynn, an academic at the Monterey Initiative in Russian Studies, explained Putin's thinking in a report for foreign policy by writing, "If the West can redraw borders for Kosovo, then we can redraw borders for Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics in eastern Ukraine." Thank you so much for watching. This is Pia Krishnankutty for ThePrint. Do subscribe to ThePrint and follow us on social media.